I have the opportunity. We're going to do another interview this week, bringing in Cameron Taylor, which was a teen not too long ago, and I believe are you in your 20s yet now, Cameron?
21, Scott, 21.
21. So he used to be a teenager back when I first met him, and has been pretty much, a sidekick in the FCRV Band over the number of last years, helping with the drums and playing drums with me as well. And then we're also going to bring on Shari Weber, our current FCRV president, or international president, should I say, president with us. And this is an opportunity for one of our younger members to be able to interview our president, Shari Weber. So, but I do want to start out, I'd like to ask my first question. So, Cameron, I see that you have a studio board right there next to us. Tell us what you've been doing all day today.
That's correct, Scott. I'm actually at my church right now. Was recording our streaming service this morning and stayed here uploading services all afternoon. I got a beautiful Yamaha MG24 right here. If you want to check it out, beautiful soundboard. Does everything I needed to do and more. Oh, there's a tissue box. Just got a fancy camera. So
you might need those.
Yeah. So still figuring it out, but yeah, been a great day here getting things.
How do you know what to do with all those buttons?
Well, pretty much they're all one channel. If you know what to do with one channel, you pretty much know what to do with the entire board. So,
and my question for you, Shari, so kind of share us where you're currently hunkered down right now during this time.
Well, we ended up sheltering in place at our place in Florida, thus the palm trees in my background. I'm sitting outside on a 80-degree night. You'll probably start seeing the sunset.
You kind of, if those trees were a little bit more curved, you would have looked like you had Minnie Mouse ears there for a moment. So
yeah, I know. I was noticing
you got yourself centered pretty well in those trees. So that's pretty good. So, all right. Well, I am going to pass the reign right now over to Cameron to, start interviewing you, and Shari, that you also have an opportunity to interview Cameron as well. You guys could choose if you guys want to interview back and forth or whatever you guys might want to do, but we're just here to have fun and also get to know not just what, a little bit more about each of you, but also just kind of asking some fun questions.
Well, Scott, thank you for that just so eloquently spoken introduction. Nobody does a better job than you do, Scott.
I got to get practice. I'm emceeing next year's convention, so this is my practice time. So.
Me and Scott have a long history of making racket with the great award-winning FCRV International Band.
And it is award-winning.
Yeah. So yes, thank you for that, Scott. So Shari, sounds like you've been doing all right with your palm trees there in the background. Scott was fooling around with some fake palm trees in his background earlier, so it's nice to see that you have real ones. Question I was going to ask you. So, everyone knows that food is obviously an essential in life, okay? But although the term now essential might kind of mean a little more. So what would you say has been your go-to quarantine snack?
Well, I tried to be healthy with my snacks during quarantine. My favorite food is chocolate, and my favorite chocolate is caramel M&Ms. And I have those here and can get those. But I do try to, instead of doing the fatty ones, I try to eat healthy, because quarantining in place doesn't allow for a lot of other activities. So don't want to get fat.
Awesome. Sounds like you're doing a lot better than I am. Hershey's chocolate is my downfall. But that's all right.
I'm with you there too. I can eat Hershey's as well.
Gotta have a little fun.
Yeah.
I'll also mention that that Scott, in talking to me about interviewing Shari, said that give me some questions ahead of time, and so I can kind of send her a little bit of information and give her a background on where we're going to be here. And then I was told, oh, Shari's going to be asking you some questions too, but I didn't ever get any of that special treatment of knowing ahead of time or anything like that. So. That's too bad.
That's probably my fault.
No. That's not your fault at all. We'll just blame everything on Scott. So.
Oh, you're right. It is Scott's fault.
So Shari, we understand that you play clarinet. So or I've just learned recently. So have you been able to play maybe a little more having this downtime?
No. I got the clarinet out today in preparation for knowing that you were going to ask me about that. And I was able to make sound with it. And the band director has printed out music for me. So we might have two clarinets. It depends on if I remember the fingerings or not.
Well, that's good. So
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Everybody, my wife's in the background listening, so she loves it too. So another clarinet player that's going to be able to play as well. So that's awesome. So, congratulations, Shari, new member of the FCRV band.
Yeah.
I also, Cameron, I don't know if you know what it is, but I have something called a wind MIDI. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Looks like a clarinet, plays like a saxophone,
Yeah.
can be any voice you want it to be. And I've played that more recently than I've played my clarinet. So
That kind of ties into my next question, Shari, because we know your husband Craig is the longtime fabulous director of the FCRV International Band, a jack of all trades, musically speaking. So has he been able to teach you any new instruments recently? I know you said you picked up the clarinet a little bit, but has he taught you anything else? You know, how to blaze it on the keys or anything like that?
no, I always wanted to learn to play the piano, but husbands and wives should not be in a teaching education situation. It's not a good idea. If you want to save the marriage, don't do that. I did probably about 30 years ago end up taking piano lessons, but I dropped away from that for an emergency family thing and never picked it back up.
Gotcha.
I let Craig do the piano playing.
Gotcha. Well, he does a great job at it. Shout out to Craig. So Scott, like he said, mentioned that you might have had some questions for me. Anything that you want to bring up there?
Well, I was curious. I understand you camp with your grandma and grandpa when you go camping. Do you call them grandma and grandpa, or are they some other name?
No, so that's actually an interesting question. So I have two cousins that actually live next door to me. Or one of them moved away because she got married, but
That happened.
And she actually started calling my grandparents Mima and Papa, and so that stuck, and that's what we call them.
Okay, so how would FCRV know your grandparents?
So they're actually the state directors for North Carolina, and they've been in that position for probably close to 2 years, I would say. So yeah, they've been coming to conventions ever since 2004 in Michigan.
Awesome.
Hey,
and
can you share
what's
their
their
names?
name?
Yeah, I was going to say, can you share their names for us?
Larry and Betty Stone.
Larry and Betty Stone. All right. Awesome. And how long have you been camping with them?
So I started camping with them probably in 2006, 2007, maybe, when I was in first or second grade, just camping around locally here in Raleigh. But went to my first convention in 2009 in Sedalia, Missouri. Didn't know anybody, didn't really meet anybody that I remembered. It wasn't until probably 2011 in Ladson, South Carolina, or 2015 in Wyoming. Wyoming really is when I met most of my friends and the people that I still connect with now. Where I met the great all-star drummer Scott Serbisek.
I don't remember. We've camped with our grandson a lot, and we get great joy from that. So I'm sure your grandparents have had great joy in having you with them. But because of fencing, he has a fencing tournament at the same time as campvention, so he hasn't been able to be with us. But he was an understudy for Scott for a while too.
Gotcha. Oh,
He's
A couple of years,
he's-
anyways.
He's now about 6 inches taller than Scott, so
I'm not very tall. Yeah, we know that for already. So, hey, Cameron, I just remembered something, and my lovely wife mentioned it to me too. Um, tell us a little bit about your camping project that you're working on.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up, Scott. And I think the FCRV world will be thrilled to hear about this. Um, Most of you, at least. There might be some of you who feel that this is a very unorthodox camping move or something. But we'll just throw it out there and see what you think. But I acquired I'll preface it with this. So I graduated high school, private school here in Raleigh, private Christian school, in 2017. And now I'm actually employed on the maintenance staff there. So I was able to, I heard that they were going to sell a short bus, before the general public knew, and was able to make an offer, and they told me, oh, that's not good enough. Well, I just sat on it and waited, and sure enough, about a month later, they took me up on my offer, and then I was the proud owner of a 2001 GMC Thomas built short bus, and have been over the last year, bought it last April, and have been over the last year converting it into a camper. So I've got
That's so cool.
yeah.
So what types of things have you done to it?
Yeah, so first thing was ripping out all the seats, had to do that, put in subfloor, do a little bit of painting, then framed everything out, got a bathroom with a toilet and a sink in there, and a bed with a beautiful 4-inch thick memory foam mattress, and a futon, courtesy of Kmart, good old Kmart. Let's see, what else? Got a fridge and a microwave, everything strapped down, a couple cabinets, a countertop, kitchen sink with a butcher block countertop, stainless steel LK sink. It's beautiful.
So the next time we're camping, there's going to be tours of Cameron's bus, right?
So, if I can, first I got to get it out of the backyard. So when it's running, maybe make the trek from Raleigh to Wisconsin, but we'll see.
Well, we're hoping.
Now you got a project to work on is to make sure that gets to Wisconsin next year. So
you know that there are. Is that it?
There's his bus.
That is so cool. I like it, Cameron. So oh, look at that.
You got to show the recent pictures.
Your talents are amazing.
Well, let's see here. Yeah, look at that kitchen right there at the top.
Oh, I love it. That is awesome.
Yeah, so that's the kitchen. So.
Where were you able to hide the gray and black tanks on that thing?
They went straight
underneath.
Underneath the flooring.
Yeah, I got the black right under the toilet. My grandpa has been huge. Wouldn't have been able to do without him. He's been able to custom built the framing and all that for underneath and everything. So it's been huge.
It always is good to have help.
Yes.
Have you named her?
There's a few names going around. Let's see. So my middle name being Stone, my grandparents' last name being Stone. It has been called the Rolling Stone. It's
okay.
Been referred to as number 19 because that's the number it was in the fleet that it was at, and my key has 19 stamped on it, so why not?
Could be 19 stones.
Yeah.
Just a little connection there. When I was 12, my father converted a school bus for our family of 7 people, 5 kids and the 2 adults, and he took out seats and made bed for him and Mom in the back and bunks for us in the middle, and took the back seat and turned it around and put it all the way in the front on both sides, and then left the second seat the third seat on both sides, and made 2 dinettes for us. His was not nearly as luxurious as yours, but we took it to Washington, D.C. and started taking it to Florida the second year, and the name of it, my little sister's name, threw a rod someplace in Kentucky.
So we
that's
also
where it
did
stayed.
mention. We also did mention we were going to be able to make fun of Shari Weber when she was going to have internet connection. She was going in and out there for a minute. So
Oh, I didn't
just to
know.
let you know, Shari, something to expect in the near future, cutting in and out. But,
Yeah.
she did that in meetings all the time with the trustees. So that's typical. So,
Yeah, I don't know why our internet is so bad today.
so,
All
well, Cameron, do you have any more questions for Shari? Because, I mean, you sent me a
days.
few more.
I had one more thing about my bus. It'll be kind of neat for you RVers out there. It's had an emergency exit hatch on the top and was able to rip that out, and we're converting that to where we're going to put the RV air conditioner on top. So just thought that'd be cool for you. Has there been any hobbies that you've tried during this period that you've never done before?
Yes, there has. I have now done 3 painting classes and made dragonflies the first time, a leaf the second time, and sand dollars the third time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not going to show and tell because I'm not a good. Yeah, never mind. It was fun and relaxing.
Those will be on display next to the bus at Campvention 2021 in Wisconsin. So y'all.
He just put it out there, Shari. You better bring him. So.
All right, they can decorate your new bus.
We might be able to get some money out of them. Never know. So.
I doubt it.
So Shari, I think one of my deepest questions tonight that I think is something important. So being isolated.
Okay.
Do what?
We'll be serious now.
Oh no. It's all right. We're never that serious. So being isolated, as we are right now, it can be challenging for all of us. So do you think, as the FCRV motto says, where strangers become friends and friends become family, do you think that can maybe happen virtually?
I think definitely that can happen virtually. One of the things that happened to me while we were isolating and canceling camp out after camp out after camp out, I thought, what can we do to make this better for everyone? And was watching how some of the late night TV shows have been adjusting, and I decided that we should try a virtual campvention. Not that we have to do everything that we do for campvention virtually, because there are some things that we will not be able to do virtually. But in watching it come together, the first thing I did was call somebody that I knew would have skills, and she's somebody that just kind of said, yeah, sure, that, and was full of ideas all that day and the next day. Our chairman is Jill Serbasek, and she is doing a fantastic job of getting everybody excited about seeing Campvention. Everybody has seen the shoebox floats that are coming up, and the excitement is building there too. So I definitely think that the virtual Campvention will give people an opportunity to participate who might not otherwise participate because they don't want to drive that far, or for whatever reason.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're coming back from our commercial break, we're actually now live from Shari's She Shed.
I wouldn't call it that, but okay. Yes, actually,
Shari,
that's all Craig's stuff.
Yeah. Now that Shari's back comfortable in her she shed, we could continue with the interview.
So yeah, Shari, I do have a few more questions for you.
Uh-oh.
So I understand that your term as president of FCRV is coming to a close soon. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, in July we'll have a new president. Gerald Fursh is our president-elect.
Awesome.
He's from Montana right now.
So what advice would you give to Gerald as the next president?
I like to think of the Board of Trustees as a team, And I would tell him to strive to take a group of type A personalities, leaders, all, and build consensus. And I would tell him that's not an easy task.
All right.
Well, and this leads me into a question too, because you're going to be the new past president of the organization, replacing Jack Smy, long lifer, it seems like. And
Seems like, yeah.
yeah.
He stepped up when we needed him to.
I mean, are you expecting to, what do you plan on as being past president to help? I mean, because you're still going to be a trustee as a past president. So now within your new role, what kind of things are you thinking that you're going to be able to do in this new role to help FCRV?
I'm looking forward to being part of a group that I have wanted to be part of for a very, very long time, and that is the scholarship program. I will look forward to having that program. It's one of the things that reports to the past president, and I'm very much looking forward to being involved in that.
Awesome. All right. That answers my question. So go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, Cameron. So go ahead.
Yeah, the scholarship fund is great as well. I've had the chance to be able to benefit from that at the state level. I don't remember if the national level or not, but so Shari, finally, what would you say for all the members of this great organization as they go through this time?
I would say that, yes, it's disappointing we can't go camping, but we have all been finding ways. I've seen virtual campfires. I've seen virtual games being played by our members. It just thrills me to see us still trying to connect. And I know that as the FCRV Band works very hard to try to produce something that's shareable, and they're not sure they're going to succeed in that, they've had a lot of fun meeting with each other. And I think that's, if we don't do anything else with this virtual campvention other than getting people together to plan it, that would be okay with me, because everybody that's involved is having fun.
And believe me, Shari, the FCRV Band is looking forward to having the current president be a part of the FCRV Band for the first time. So, it's taken forever to get her to be a part of the band, but it's going to happen. So I'm loving it. So it gives her something else to do.
Be looking forward to whenever that wonderful band performance comes out. Me and Scott are going to have a special duet. We're going to be coming to a laptop screen near you to blow the windows off of your laptop. There's a special way out of getting your windows blown off your laptop screen. If you have a Mac, there is no windows to blow off, so that's a good thing.
Shari, before we end tonight, is there any questions that you want to ask either Cameron or myself before ending the evening?
Well, I am curious, when we were talking about scholarships, Cameron, you said you participated in your state scholarship. What education are you pursuing?
So I'm pursuing a facility management technology degree. So in my maintenance position right now, that's really helping me there, and gives me potential down the road to move up in my job status there, and really getting to over the past few years, I've gotten to know that facility, but getting the schooling here kind of allows me to get the overall bigger picture as well.
Well, Shari, I'm just going to let you know we're going to call it a night. All right.
We had fun.
I hope you both had fun. I actually said thank you to Cameron for taking the time to help interview you, as well as I want to thank you as well for taking the time to share, yourself, as well as ask some questions to Cameron as well. So, and once again, FCRV members, look for more interviews here to come. There'll be plans for us to be able to do more interviews and have a lot more fun. So you get to learn a little bit more about other FCRV members here in our wonderful organization. So
I personally will look forward to those.
All right. So good night, everybody. Have a lovely evening, and we see you hopefully on the campground one day. So
sounds great.
See you guys.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing that bus, Cameron.
Looking forward to seeing your artwork as well, Sherry.
All right.
Bye, folks.
Good night.